Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week number 2 of the WSSEA 2025 fall season. We are ready for some exciting Valorant here tonight. Before we get into all the action, as always, I've got to introduce my handsome co-part here, D-Lo. How are we feeling today, my friend?
Handsome?
Oh,
Really? Me?
all day, baby. All day.
I'm blushing. You better get the camera off me before I start to just go completely red. Yes, it is indeed I, joined here by the hot sauce maestro himself. And we got some good Valorant. Last time around, we saw a bit of a mismatch there, right? It was a complete sweep, unfortunately. And today, I'm looking forward to more good Valorant action, hopefully just a little bit more competitive than the first.
Yeah, honestly, I think that we're in for a little bit of a treat today. I was taking a look at these two teams, Prairie High School versus Battleground High School. Both of these teams 2-0 in the preseason, both 1-0 in the regular season as well. And for Battleground, they beat teams like Ephrata and like Tenino. So some big powerhouses that we've seen in the past. Prairie, another one of these very talented teams. They've got a new coach this year. I believe it was Henry Oliveira stepping up. His first time coaching here. They've got a new player in Mr. Potato, but a fairly comfortable roster. And Bazi is going to be their IGL. So one to kind of look out for. A very good util player is what I've got from the coach.
On the other side, Battlegrounds kind of got an interesting mix of new and old. They say war never changes, but they would make a liar out of you. You have NA Trave, who's new to the team this year, been playing for a little bit of time, likes to play the ISO, so at the very least start to develop their roster, their palette for the game. You also have Jade Solid, who typically was just kind of on the sidelines, on the fringes with equipment management, but now is starting to play a little bit more. Then you have the classics. You have Ninja Don, Scout, and Pobble, who have been around the block for a few years. So I'm curious to see how the chemistry ends up blending together. Will it be a nice, solid chemical reaction, or will it blow up in their face?
Well, judging by how well they've been playing through their first 3 games, preseason included, I'd say both of these teams have come very prepared, but it's on a map that we really haven't seen much of. It's the newer map, Corrode, coming out here, so it'll be interesting to see not only what compositions we'll be working with, is it more toward the meta, is it more toward that comfortability pick, and how comfortable are these students on a map like Corrode?
Well, speaking of the map dynamics, Prairie is going to be on the attack first. Battleground will be the ones on defense. And Hot Sauce, in the green room, we were talking a little bit about the meta and how that's also going to be impacting it. A big update came through to you, but you know it's not an update, but one we're still going to give you anyway. Zotac Gaming and how great they are. I want to give a huge shout out to our friends on Zotac Gaming for supporting Scholastic Esports in Washington State. You can also show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on the Discord. And don't forget to use that hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
Absolutely love to hear it. Make those posts. Let us know who you might think wins today's game. But nonetheless, it is going to be an exciting one here as you see a little bit of those sight lines behind my man D-Lo there. As you get to see how that map is going to be laid out just a little bit there. Very big map. A lot of rotations, a lot of different intricacies in this one. Some long sight lines, some close quarter combats. Really a little bit of everything on a map like Corrode.
Absolutely, a little smorgasbord action, well-rounded, and hopefully the teams can provide that exact same mojo. Going back, though, to what we were alluding to earlier, Hot, we were talking about the massive sweeping changes that have been made to the game. And from what you're telling me, what it means is that gunplay is the bigger emphasis. If your crosshairs are not placed in the right spot, you're toast.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these abilities have given longer cooldowns, and so we've nerfed the abilities a little bit. Other than flashes, most of the flashes have gotten a little bit stronger, but it's boiling down to this gunplay, and a lot of that horizontal recoil now takes twice as long to kick in. There's more of a shot forgiveness or penalty as far as those first few bullets coming out, and so we've seen a lot crazier spray transfers, some really big doubles and triple kills coming into play. Honestly, I love the changes. Excited to see how they do play out going forward, but so far I'm liking the changes that we've seen.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in terms of if you are playing a pick that is very reliant on its natural ability kit, then you're going to find yourself at a bit of a disadvantage. And we've seen that before. We talked about it last week with how important in these games just simple shot placement can come to. If you are not aiming at 10 and 2, you're going to find yourselves in a bit of a snafu. But now we're off to the picks, off to the rosters. So far I'm seeing Sovas. I'm seeing the Geks as well. What else we got on the field?
Little Viper out here. Honestly, I'd be excited for that. It's been a while since we've seen her really utilized. Breeze was a map I can think back to. Icebox is another one that she's been very good on, but we don't see a ton of them. So really good at denying entry into the site. A lot of vulnerabilities there. You got the deadlock and the KO. Two of these players, maybe a little Phoenix roulette here. They say, I want Phoenix. No, I want Phoenix. Maybe a Waylay. We have seen a lot of these teams kind of go back to that double duelist comp, but we don't see that on the side of Battleground, which I think tends to kind of favor teams. You've got the ISO there, who is very tough to deal with at times.
You know what I've also not seen for a while? Vice. Vice being picked up here by Pablo, who's once again the team captain, so hopefully going to lead by example with that. Of course, those Iron Brambles can be quite a nuisance to deal with, and they're on the defensive end, so honestly a pretty good place to get it off to a good momentous start. KO locked in, the Cypher as well going to be spitting some venom at you, and what better place to do that than for Corrode?
Honestly, I'm surprised by the Vise. Vise is one of the characters that did take a bigger hit. The Arc Rose, the Flash, now destroyable upon winding up. The cooldown increased by 15 plus seconds. The ultimate, the radius, decreased by 7+ meters. The windup of it increased. The health decreased of the Razorvine. Even the flash time of the Arc Rose was decreased, which is the only flash that got nerfed throughout the entirety of all the other flashes. Their duration got increased. So I's kind of taken some of the bigger hits of the nerf, but not going to let that stop Pablo here. He's come prepared. He's comfortable on this agent and ready to showcase the skills.
Sometimes comfort does matter a bit more than what the stat sheet says to you, especially at this level of gameplay, high school. We're not at the tippity top of the pro leagues, right? We're starting to build those foundations. So I think in these moments, in these contexts, it's okay to play for a bit more of what you know rather than what is objectively top of the line in the meta. Pistol rounds coming at you here. Let's see what they got.
Pistol round, always important no matter what side you're starting on here. It helps set the tone of the first couple rounds, and you see this Stampede knee, and now heading straight toward the A site. Through elbow they go, but it's Meow to find the first. Jade does fall here in Battleground, playing at a player disadvantage.
Okay, wow, some great smoke set up there by the Omen, but unfortunately also impeding your own path. Plant going to be coming down instantly, and Meowscles starting to flex on him. Takes down Trave as well. Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Yeah, now only 3 players standing. Pickle-Ree with the Sheriff from a distance collects the head of Pablo. Meow and Bozzy will combine for 2 more, and Prairie will get a flawless round number 1.
In the pistols, too, that to me shows just finesse, right? What better round to show we are just more technically skilled than you could ever imagine than the round where you don't have any ultimates online, you don't have any excuses, you only have the bullets left in the chamber of your small little default. Now, can Battleground come back? They at very least need to get 1 kill just to make a statement to Prairie that they're still here.
Yeah, when you lose that first round, it's tough, though. You often to go on to lose the second round. You don't really want to buy much. You want to stay around that 1,800 credit mark so that you can ensure a full buy in that following round. So, yeah, you're right. Ideally, you're looking for 1 to 2 picks on an eco round. Waylay dashes in, but right to their death as Natram finds one. Potato does get the trade back.
Potato takes him right back, and also going to make sure to try to get a bit more space guaranteed there. Throws the nade. Jade has their number, but unfortunately, Potato's got the shots unlocked. Curveball around the side, and the wingman up in the sky as well. It's a plant coming out, but Scout starting to make the charge forward. Once again, answered back by Pickle.
Little back and forth here, but Prairie High School maintaining that player advantage. Already those 2 picks that we asked for from the eco of Battleground. Anything extra would be nice. There is a gun on the ground here that Pablo could potentially pick up. Omen is going to snag that away here. Shots continue to ring out, and Bias, just about half health, has some work to do.
There's going to be a lot more work if you go around just like that. No caution, no self-preservation. Just Pablo getting a bit too antsy and decides to walk right into the crossfire.
Don't let him get to you.
Yeah, it's tough walking into the crossfire. The numbers aren't yours and the time ticking away. It breeds for tough situations, especially when you are on an eco. But here comes that important round now for Battleground. They've got a full set of rifles to work with. Prairie will be bonusing into this round. So a much needed round here for Battleground, but Prairie playing very, very well at the moment.
Well, what's got me scared is the fact that Meowscles just did not need to die there. It was very clearly a gung-ho moment that can very easily be corrected. And I think if Meowscles doesn't die in those opening moments of the fight, Prairie could very well have just replicated the exact same success we saw in the first round. So now what happens once they are a bit more conservative, once they are a bit more safe? We'll find out as Pablo sneaks around the corner. Scout grabs the first blood.
Just split down. This is what Battleground needs. They're now working with that player advantage. We really haven't seen them have that this series just yet, even though it is early. All the action heading toward the B site this time for Prairie.
These Phoenix and Viper walls are also going to be super important to keep in mind from our friends on Prairie. Unfortunately, lost the Viper right now, but cutting the head off the Snake does not mean the rest of the body goes limp, and Prairie has so many means of limiting your sight lines. Pavel's got an open field, and they got an open rib cage there for Potato as they knock them out. So far, so good here from Battleground.
Yeah, haven't dropped a member yet, haven't taken much damage either, and they've really been able to keep Prairie at bay here. These smokes make it difficult to pressure through, especially without some blinds, so you see Phoenix, Cypher beginning to work back toward the bottom mid here, and that smoke will allow them to cross. The ping comes out from Scout, so the intel is there, and we will see Battleground kind of mirror this rotation just a bit.
Yeah, they're doing a good job keeping it split just to make sure all their bases are covered, and with the man advantage of 20 seconds left, why not? It's going to be a mad dash from Prairie. Battleground are not going to rush out to meet you.
Yeah, I mean, they're on defense. They got the luxury of just hanging out. Only 10 seconds on the clock. It takes at least 4 to get the spike planted as well. And so Battleground to be able to solidify their first round in the bag. And they've got all 5 standing, and we'll see if that hangs true here for a few more seconds.
Yeah, just please make sure not to rush in open combat and catch a warranted bullet in the head for your troubles. No, instead everyone's staying safe. I really like that from Battleground. I actually really like that. It shows restraint. It shows that they're not fringed. They're not panicking. They're not phased. Even though they lost 2 rounds in conjunction, they still recognized, hey guys, we're on defense. Time is on our side. It's our friend, not Prairie's.
Yeah, and again, you expect to lose that second round if you don't win the pistol round. So they get into their full buy where they're comfortable. They find a big round win. And now here's where it's important to carry it forward, because on the side of Prairie, they have funds for a full buy themselves, but they kind of limp into this round. Half armor or light armor for 3 of the members, a couple bulldogs, not the typical rifles that you see. And so really an opportunity for Battleground to begin to battle back in it here.
Trade tries to scout forward. The Viper wall has got their back covered. Spike cam comes out there from Gamer, doesn't grab too much intel before it's quickly shot out, but Gamer still wants to try to grab maybe a kill. Instead, the Cyber Cage comes down and NA just tries to spray through the smoke, won't find anything for their troubles.
Yeah, that blind from Phoenix kind of blocked off by that smoke. Maybe a bit of miscommunication,
nice
but no
plant.
harm, no foul, because they get right onto the site. They find the plant. Now the traps go up here as well. They can play back for the retake. It's Pickle Ree to find Pavel, though, and the first goes down. Prairie, now it's Bozzy finding Natrav. Jade will pick up on one of their own, but they're still playing at a player disadvantage.
Hold on, Scout though does even the odds by taking down C Gamer, and there's low health on the side of Battleground. Unfortunately, too many wounds to nurse, and they're getting sent right to the morgue instead. Ninja's the last to fall, and Sova, the hunter, is instead hunted down by Pickle Ree. A 3rd round secured by Prairie.
Pickle Ree on the killing spree, baby. A quadra in Prairie. As soon as Battleground begins to get a little momentum in their corner, Prairie quick to snatch it away here. And they do it again off of a little bit of a scrappy round by. They had a few bulldogs, some light armor. They're able to upgrade, pick some weapons up off the ground. It's a full set of rifles, and Meow has an Odin. Nope, gonna sell it here. That's a weapon that can really get into the heads of your opponent.
Not only a scrappy round by, but a scrappy spike plant. The fact that there was no bloodshed before the objective had already been sought out by the Cypher is really impressive, and it shows just how well Prairie are using this utility. NA is going to be able to take down Pickle Ree. We're going to run it right back, baby. Bozzy does go down and trade. Scout trades out their life for Potato, and C Gamer, wow, what a bloodshed start here as Potato's getting it knocked out. Pickle Ree answers back on a Ninja. How did this become a 1v3?
I mean, it was just plaid stripes all through the kill feed, but they're able to get this revive onto KO. That 6th man coming back into play here. The plant goes down with ease, and now on a 2v1 that favors Prairie yet again. Jade Solid has a little bit of util to work, including that L drone and these darts here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of them come out initially for some intel. There's that drone there as well, but again, time slowly ticking away.
And also because they're using the drone, the nade actually took out quite the solid chunk of their health. The Molly's gonna follow, and that spike is incoming. The blind is gonna make sure they're kept in bay for just a little bit longer. Too long for Jade to even attempt. They're just gonna have to save what money they got.
Wise decision. Honestly, we don't see a lot of saving in a game like Valorant in key times, and it's a 2v1. Time has expired. Realistically, finding both of those kills and getting that 7-second defusal is just not on the cards. You're at half health as Sova, so save that rifle. The Vandal is an expensive enough weapon to save away. We see that. The rest of the crew able to buy a round. It's still a bit of a scrappy round, but we saw Prairie win a scrappy round. Battleground certainly capable of it as well.
Well, you know what they were high spending in that round? Ultimates. And you talk about the 6th man. How about the 7th man? Pickle Re had to run it back. Potato got rebooted. Yeah. That was so many resources forced out of Battleground for Bubkiss, for literally nothing but a pat on the back on the kill feed before you see, oh, guess what? I'm back again, suckers.
Phoenix hasn't taken a single death yet. Scout from above will look to rain down destruction. He pops Mr. Potato straight into the head, and with that, the spike does fall. The intel comes out. They've already got pressure here. Pickle Re on the back end does get the trade, and now the plant looks to go down yet again.
Oh, no! The double wall set up by the Viper and Phoenix is a red carpet to their doom. Battleground get absolutely wiped out by the elements. Pablo around the corner, but gotta get close to have any chance with that shotty. Instead decides to loot the corpse of their fallen comrades. They'll thank you if you win the round, but NA Trave going down to Bad Omen.
Yeah, you see that arc rose there, that blind being put up through the wall as well, and it used to not be destroyable, but with these new changes, we see Prairie just knocking it away immediately, not allowing them to get value from that blind, and Prairie now continuing to steamroll forward. It's 3 rounds in a row, and 5 of the last 6. Pickle Re 9-0-1, and the rest of the crew filling their role very nicely.
Feels bad, man, if you're Battleground there. I mean, you do have ultimates. The Thrash is already up for Scout. We have not seen any ultimates, if I'm not mistaken, be put into practice, whereas Prairie are already starting up on their next cycles. Pickle Re is 2 away from the run it back, and that's just because they are efficient. They are proving why this new meta serves in their favor. They do have the trap set down, and Pickle Re prepares to enter, but already inside the Thunderdome. Bozzy actually wins the 1v1. NA was not getting on that bargain.
That's tough. The kill contract comes out, but can't solidify the dub. And so back here again, playing at a player disadvantage. Pavel tucked onto sight, can hear the footsteps all around, is able to destroy that camera, but still has to work through a smoke from behind. The flank comes in, the spray is good. Pavel finds one, but Seed Gamer right there to trade it back as Ninja will then find the pick.
Okay, we got the wingman up in the sky, but unfortunately on the corner, Ninja gets taken out by the flexing cat that's just around the corner waiting to squeeze the life out of you. Count looking at the ground when you should have been looking up. Now you're 6 feet under instead. Jade does answer back, but once again, a 1v2 for the Sova and not favorable.
Yeah, and you got the Viper's Pit. As soon as you step into this pit as an opposing member, you begin to decay down to 1 health. You're already at nothing, and Pickle Re is feeling himself, the confidence exuberating on the battlefield as he steps through the smoke, finds the kill, and continues to rain down terror now at 10-0.
I mean, man, the fact that NA went for that kill contract and then comes up with empty hands, that feels rough. That is a very large gut punch to the team because you come out with 1 less member and Prairie are feeling strong about it. And that's just a big morale boost. They used that 1 ultimate. Nothing else, I will say. I'm a bit surprised that Battleground are not being a bit more liberal with these ultimates. After a certain point, Hot Sauce, we've seen this happen last week. You could have been building up for a second or even potentially a third. If you're waiting for too long, your right moment will never come. Scout is also going to be dead.
Couldn't agree with you more, and it's the fact that they have so many means they could stagger them out to this round, to the following round, but it's not the case. That 2 go down without expending those ults. The Hunter's Fury here for Sova doesn't come out to deny the plant, and it is more trouble here for Battleground, and Pickle Re continues the reign of domination. Meow will find 1 as well. The last standing member here is ISO, but he is all alone with a stinger. Does find 1 though.
They know exactly where you are for that purpose. Meowscles gets put down, but the vet will see you now. Pickle Re is here to escort you to the afterlife where the rest of your friends are waiting. What is that, 13-0? 14-0? 13-0. Nice job, Pickle Re. Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, will anybody be able to stop him? That's what I'm looking for. He's got the run it back virtually for that extra life, but thankfully we see Battleground with a full buy here. The last couple rounds, they've fallen into a problem that a lot of Scholastic teams have, and it's the economy. They don't save together when they need to so that they can all buy in the following round. You have 2 with rifles, 2 with pistols, and it's little mistakes like that that can really give your opponents the upper hand. It's nice to see them here with a full buy round. 4 ultimates. I want to see some of them used. Hopefully they can pick up a round here.
But they gotta stay alive long enough is the thing. That conservative nature from Battleground, it's weird. I feel like in their ultimate conservation, obviously they are very willing to save, but you gotta save yourself first in general. Prairie gets blinded, but they're just looking right at you to try to find the kill. The run it back is instead what's gonna happen because Prairie just cannot die. Bozzy gets down 1, and that's gonna be 1 more down, and Trade as the Viper gets chopped down.
Chopped down here momentarily. It was Ninja that found Bozzy. Shots continue to ring out. It's Prairie, the last member standing, and Prairie does not fall. You might be able to get him in the run it back, but you just can't put a notch in that death column now. 15-0, and look at Meow, double digits, not too far behind him.
This is disgusting work from the captain. I mean, Prairie is absolutely a monster on this pick. And we've seen this before, Hot Sauce. We've talked about Prairie before. They want to maintain that undefeated record for the season, and Prairie, it seems like, wants to maintain that big old goose egg in the death column.
Yeah, you know, it's not too often that we see it, especially after 9 rounds of play. And unfortunately for Battlegrounds, they've been able to take Prairie out twice, but both of those times were in the ultimate, the run it back.
So frustrating.
And so no value there. It is. It can be mentally frustrating, but you got to have that mental fortitude to overcome. This time, the action unfolding over here at the B site.
Let's find out if any can try to grab one. The sightline's not in their favor. Only a hat that pokes out from the top. Sadly not getting part of the hitbox. Instead, C-Gamer's the one doling out the pain. Scout does grab Mr. Potato as a consolation prize, but soon after, the bullet finds their head. Near flawless round there from Prairie, and my, did it go by quick.
Near flawless round and a near flawless half really is. We've got just a couple rounds left here in the first half. Battleground only able to steal away that 1 round. There have been a couple close rounds, but for the most part, it has been Prairie in control here. The Battleground High School, they won both preseason games that were tough ones. They started off the season here with a dub. Both of these teams undefeated, but after today, that will not be the case.
It's, again, look at what we're seeing in the ultimate column. 4 ultimates ready and waiting. They're just being stood up, expecting us to have these big abilities, but not really seeing much fruits of their labor. NA around the corner tries to grab the double tap, and instead grabs Squat. Finally takes down Meowscles, but they are away of position.
Smoke of the way. Potato with a 1 tap. Through the wall, Scout goes down. Ninja in a cheeky position here, tries to get a little bit of a tap spray. Will have help from Potato, but in the meantime, his friend has gone down. Jade will find another. They look to upgrade the weapon, but can they make good use of it?
No! Pobble's too busy admiring the rivets on their new weapon. Instead, falls to the human weapon. That is Prairie. Potato gonna join the vegetable squad and takes down Ninja. Now they're the one who's comatose instead. Jade, the last survivor, sweeps the leg like they're part of Cobra Kai. Prairie takes it down.
Last round before the
Prairie 17-0, looking for the 20 bomb, and guess what? Has the run it back again already. In Prairie, we trust at this point, but you take a look at the rest of the kills. I mean, Potato, Meow, both in double digits. C-Gamer, Bozzy, filling their role very, very nicely here, and the whole crew just playing well together.
Okay, let's talk on the other end about what Battleground's doing right. I do think that they are, again, they are playing scrappily, and I appreciate that, willing to pick up these guns. I just think genuinely sometimes their crosshair placement is a bit rough at points. Sometimes they're in those good positions like we saw the Omen last go around, but they're not finding the shots necessary. C-Gamer, on the other hand, takes down 2 for 1. NA gets the big consolation prize of killing Prairie. Oh wait, he's back.
He's back again. Guess who's back? That's right, Prairie is back.
Oh,
he goes down! Ninja Don has done it. The Don Juan finds him. Potato answers back immediately, but eventually they find a way to chop this Prairie down. We'll see if they can rekindle that flame once more in a 3v1.
Bozzy's around the corner, tries maybe to go for a cheeky trick shot, but might cost you big. The KO's down on the floor, but we're waiting to see who's around the corner. Watch out, the left hook out of nowhere. Meowscles make sure to get their robot companion on their feet for sweeping aside the corpses of Battleground from the field. 11-1 in favor of Prairie.
Gotta check the corners, and that's the tough thing about Kuro. There's so many to check with time ticking away from the bomb. I think Sova just feeling some of that pressure here. And Battleground is a very talented team, but you gotta wonder maybe how much of this map is a factor as well. This is a map that I think maybe not a lot of teams are as comfortable on, but they've shown that Prairie is human. He can falter. He does have a death, but still nearing that 20 bomb. And for Prairie, they're just one away from match point. This pistol round, I feel like, is a must-win for Battleground.
Oh, God, it's got to be, right? Because, again, this is a round that is already showing your technical finesse. You guys have not really been showing your stuff and strutting it with the ultimate, so how about when no one has to worry about that nonsense, when Prairie can only die once and finally be eliminated off the field?
Here.
Oh, Scout does find the first initial pick here on that pistol round. The Cypher Cam up top,
nice.
Tripwire in the way as well. Ninja finds a 2K, and all of a sudden, Battleground beginning to heat up.
Ninja starting to try to find that paranoia through the wall, but no one's going to be there to actually receive it. Trap set up there by the Rose, but now could be in a bit of trouble. Prairie sends blind shots through the smoke, trying to find a means to clutch up. Him and the Viper will have to combine to try to finish off the job. All 5 members of Battleground feeling good.
Lantos go down here.
Last player standing.
Oh no.
And now just down to Prairie. If there's one player you want standing in your corner, it's probably Prairie, but with only a ghost in hand, needs to work a lot of magic here.
Caught inside the smoke, got the curveball to at least try to force them back. It does succeed at that. If you take down Jay, the Staller's waiting, gets the one, but Ninja unfortunately was waiting with a samurai sword to slice you down. Battleground can feel good about winning the pistols.
Yeah, you know, honestly, it's only a 2-site map, but these rotations are a little bit wonky. They have some distance to them, so I could see why an attacking team can do very well together if they 5-player rush it somewhere. You've got at least a 2 or 3 player advantage, typically because the defenders are split between the 2 sites here, and so we're seeing Battlegrounds have some success on the attacking side. My only worry is that they just didn't quite get enough rounds on that defensive side.
I mean, yeah, at a certain point, you got to wonder, is it too little too late? I am never going to say something is completely sold down the river. There's always a chance to come back here in esports, but it's going to certainly be an uphill battle, a near 90-degree incline that Battleground have got to march their way up. Might be actually a death march there for Ninja, but no, they find the shots on C-Gamer. Unfortunate miss by the Cypher.
Yeah, luckily that Cypher only had a classic to work with here in this eco round, so Battleground will dodge a bullet and keep the life staved here, keep it on their feet for a moment as they begin to shift back through mid. They might be running into the waiting arms of Prairie here, who's tucked in toward mid with a stinger. Looks for the jumping intel, decides against the flash and finds the first one.
You got the Viper wall around the corner, going to be able to block them for a little bit longer, impede their progress. Prairie waits for the smoke to drop, and NH Trave is going to drop soon after. Once again, newbie, welcome to the big leagues. Bizy begins to wrap around the corner, but decides better of it, recognize that Prairie is no longer there to back him up.
Flash comes in from Gecko. They try to pressure in toward the site.
Scary.
Lets some shots rip, but doesn't connect. It's
Meow.
Meow, though, on the Ares. Chopper's on deck and ready to flex. He mows down 2 before Scout and the Bulldog pick up one of their own, but it's a 2v1. The health here slightly in favor of Posse with the stinger will put him down, and with that, Prairie High School will get the match and series points.
That's exactly what you want to do as the Viper, recognizing the fact that, listen, I'm low health, but I at the very least need to provide a means of distraction, recognizing that the KO was nearby and able to be the cavalry in charge of cleanup should it be necessary. But no, instead, the audacity of the low health Snake to go charging in against the Mongoose actually wins the day. Now 12-2, match point on the horizon. Can Battleground hold on?
And take a look at the... I thought we were going to see 2 Odins. They keep teasing me with those Odins up here. It looks like Prairie and crew will sell back for this Vandal here. Armor in hand. And, well, they've set themselves up to win the round. They've got the economy. They've got the weaponry and the armor. They've just got to close it out here. Battleground needs 10 in a row if they want to hang on.
They just have not been winning these individual fights. They have... oftentimes I feel like been being outplayed by the tactical positioning of Prairie. Like, these corner traps are usually being set and succeeded by Prairie. But Battleground sometimes have been caught some lucky breaks and also some skillful ones too. The Viper wall is set up though. Bizy's been doing such a great job at limiting the player geography that they can operate under, and you can see it right there.
Very slow and methodical here for Battleground. They know it's potential last round, but Ninja, Guardian on Guardian action here as he wins that battle or that duel against Potato. We get into power forward, unfortunately, caught by the blind of Gecko.
What?
It's Meow, credited with the first. Scout will get the second, and back and forth we go.
Meowscles saw right through all the goop and nonsense and instead decides to splatter blood across the map. Does get paid back quickly by Scout. Now they're going to be able to send down the Dizzy to try to get the plant on out as well from a safe distance. This is a good chance for Battleground to play the objective. Just wait for the man down Prairie to come to them.
Yeah, I mean, once you get that plant down, that pressure begins to shift to the shoulders of your opponents, quickly destroying the util away. Gamer has the ping going out. The intel is there. Catches Sova in utility. In a trade will find Prairie, though. The Juggernaut goes down, and Gamer battles back.
Gamer's been doing a really good job on this Cypher. Dude is going bar for bar. Unfortunately, it seems that the show has ended. Curtain call. Bizy does take down Pobble. In response, with the plant down, and Battleground only has to hold firm. But NA Trave not sure whether to try to go for the kill or to let them try to go for the fake of the defuse. Instead, Viper tries to run for dear life, and NA will shoot them in the back for their troubles. That's got to violate some sort of convention.
Hey, NA Trave going down in a blaze of the glory with the bomb and all. They get another important round here as they look to battle back. They're really going to have to trudge to the trenches in this one, though. Scout will get up to double-digit kills. NA Trave, Ninja Don just behind them there with 9. So things starting to click a little bit here, but can they keep it going forward? Luckily for them, Prairie kind of experiencing their own economic troubles. We see 2 scouts, a couple SMGs, not full armor either, and maybe a chance to allow Battleground back into this one.
I mean, the one who's really been shining, in my opinion, has been Ninja. Pistol round, rifle round, either way, this is one deadly Shogun that you do not want to mess with. So keep an eye on the Omen. Might indeed be the positive Omen here for Battleground to begin to pull themselves out of the doldrums and depths of despair. Pablo, though, you're looking for the captain, hopefully lead by example. This rise, we had some eyebrows rising. We saw it picked up. We need to see it rise on the stat board as well.
Gamer trying to lock down mid, waiting for this smoke to begin to dissipate. Should only be a few moments now. Meow gonna let that chopper sing out, and dangerously close to finding a mark through the wall. We see the teleport go away from that, though, and a lot of mid presence here.
And they're going to try to peek out. Unfortunately, a bit too far. Meowscles had the heater ready and puts down NA for their troubles. Grabs a good upgrade for their troubles, too, so Bizy gets a little bit of eco out of that. Scout does get Gamer, though. A really solid trade there from the Gecko.
And Gamer trying to snipe with that Marshall, but wasn't able to hit the shot. Prairie with that run it back. We'll look to power forward, but Pablo shuts it down immediately, and this is what we want to see from Battleground.
Captain for captain. Let's see who can head the ship just a bit better. Pablo decided to want to steer it into dangerous waters. The wingman does go out first, but the flash is the instant response. Pablo sequestered in the corner. Prairie is throwing heaters at him, but who's going to strike out first?
Only 8 seconds on the clock, though. They got to get the plant down. Ninja Don does creep into the site, able to find the plant. Potato can't deny it. They hang on with just a few seconds, and Scout is delicious with a delicious 3K. He's hungry for kills, and he can't seem to get full.
It might be 2025, but this ain't Nuketown KO. Drop the sniper. Who do you think you're going to no-scope in Valorant? Now it's going to be all advantage for all of Battleground. 3 members stand up to 2 of Prairie, and they don't even have Pickle.
Ninja finding Bazzi. Meow will get a consolation prize, but is going to need a couple more on the hunt with a waylay. Jade spots him and drops him. 4-12 Battleground, slowly but surely beginning to take it an inch at a time.
Is that a comeback? I think it's got something on the wind here. It smells good either way. What Battleground are cooking up so far, I'm liking this. But I'm trying to pinpoint what the change is. I really do think part of it is just Ninja and Scout really picking up some of this offensive pressure. We're seeing, I think, a bit less conservation with these ultimates. They're starting to get a bit more liberal with letting those abilities and utilities sing early, recognizing that, hey, you only live once per round.
I think another big part is Prairie continues to buy in every round. They've got rounds to give. They could eco out here, but again, we see another scrappy round where only a couple members have rifles, only a couple have armor. There's one with a sheriff, and so it's very scrappy rounds, and if they continue to buy every round without saving or ecoing out, they might just allow Battleground to way back in.
I wonder if that's a bit of hubris from Prairie, where they're like, "Come on, guys, we're the silver spoons. We got caviar on the plates, and they're not used to maybe eating spam out the can. But sometimes you gotta let that happen. Sometimes you gotta use food stamps instead. It's not anything wrong with that. It's just a humble living to try to get your way to the top."
Trying to get back to the top here in a trade, finding Potato, and all of a sudden Battleground continues to reap the success. They've opened up the mid-ground just a bit. That forces out slight early rotation out of Prairie, but you got to check the corners. The trigger discipline this time from Meow finds not one but two, and A-Trade, the trade on back.
I swear to God, Meowscles and full auto just goes so well together. It's like hot dogs and mustard. Does have the kill contract to try to even the odds here, but it's Pickle Ree, you're locked in win. That's the worst opponent you want to have a contact on top of. Baizi takes down Pobble, and now once again it's the poor Sova, the last lone hunter left in the tundras to freeze over. Pickle Ree takes them down, and Prairie win the series.
That's probably because mustard doesn't go on hot dogs, if you ask me. But Prairie, 13-4. Pickle Ree with the classic ketchup, if you will, is what I prefer. But I digress just a little bit here. Pickle Ree, 23-5, 193 on the combat score. Some great first bloods from Scout. I mean, it certainly wasn't for lack of trying. I think 4-13 doesn't do this scoreline justice either. I felt like probably 2 or 3 of those rounds could have gone the other way as well. Very close, but at the end of the day, Prairie getting it done. I think that attacking sign for them was a big one. Pickle Ree, I mean, how long did it take before we see him get his first death? Somewhere around the 17 kill mark, I think.
Yeah, and then I think Pickle Ree kind of relaxed a little bit because, you know, once it becomes a bit of a meme, you're like, how long can I go without dying? And then you start to play a bit more safe. But Pickle Ree, I feel like, was a bit more loose with their life following that first time they actually graced the kill screen. So, yeah, they went for a long time, though. It was nearly all of the offensive rounds before we saw it happen. It was only after, like, what? 4 successful run-it-backs. It's so frustrating to have the Phoenix be operated by your best player because you just feel like you're always at least doing something to set them behind, but never to knock them out of the game.
Yeah, one of the smallest ultimates to get to as far as points go. So if you're finding kills, you're getting orbs, you're finding that ult multiple times in a game. And that's why we always talk about it. If you have that ult, look to use it in that round or at the latest the following round. You can work on getting those ults back more frequently. I think Battleground had a little bit of trouble with that in the first half, but it was a phenomenal day of Valorant. I'd love to give another shout out to one of our wonderful sponsors of LANFest, guys. This broadcast fuels LANFest's Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. And since launching, LANFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in both Washington and Indiana. So we provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, to schools, to teams. We cover it all. Your generous donation does make all of that possible. And for every $200 raised, it will cover the operating cost of one whole regular season of broadcast. So if you appreciate our work, got a little extra funds, be sure to scan that QR code and donate today if you can help out. We certainly appreciate you.
Absolutely. This stuff is fun to do, and we want to keep on doing it. So if you have any means, any resources that you'd be willing to kick up to the cause, we would greatly appreciate it. But we also just appreciate you guys viewing, sticking around, and listening to us yap about video games in the first place, because it's what we love to do. Sadly, though, in terms of games to yap about, we are all out of them for us here today. Thank you very much for watching WSSEA Week 2 of the high school Valorant circuit here. To our friends on Prairie, a hearty congratulations. I've been Dila, joined here in the booth by my friend Hot Sauce. We've had our almighty eyes in the sky console colony, as well as Taylor. Please thank our production for all they do. We could not yell at games without them. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this series just as much as we have. Keep an eye to the sky for more LANFest and WSSEA action coming at you tomorrow, same time. Until then, good games and good night.